That's right, people. BSG Gaming is done. It's dusted. I will be quitting. That's just how it's going to be. Hey, my dudes, how you doing? I hope you're having a goddamn smashing day. Welcome back to the BSG YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We are going to be talking about FC25 and what that means for the channel going forward, because there have been one or two things that are a little bit concerning, to say the very least, but we will talk about it soon enough. But yes, we're just going to scroll through some stuff and just talk about it, and I'll give you guys my opinion, and you guys can let me know down below in the comment section what your opinions of the new game and some of the new features might be. Also, whilst you're there, don't forget to smash that like button. So we're starting off with around 1,800 player animations, which is 600 more than FC24. I have seen that there are a few new free kick animations, tackling animations, diving animations too. So it is very cool that they have and are continuously looking to improve the game. And we will talk about certain player mods, or not player mods, but player face molds and stuff. They are also bringing back Mycon. Now that is a right back that I can get behind. Pause. But point is, fantastic to have him back in the game. Also, Fabrizio Romano. This video will mainly be about the tactical side of FC25 as well as the career mode. The Ultimate Team stuff, that's not really for the channel, and I don't really play Ultimate Team, but here we go. Fabrizio Romano, I have seen and heard rumors that he will be in FC25 career mode, and I've also seen a few people on X say, I'm going to go and go into negotiations, try and sign the player, and then at the last minute I'm going to cancel the deal just so I can prove Fabrizio Romano wrong. There's Trent taking a free kick, and he does look quite good at it, and there's also the front cover for the Ultimate Edition. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to go and get the Ultimate Edition. Of course, that's like a few days extra early on the actual release dates and all that. But in terms of the previous covers versus this cover, there's a lot happening in here, which is really bad from a design perspective. But in terms of the difference, I quite like it. I mean, the last few covers have more or less been the same, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't buy FIFA 24 with like a hard copy, so I can't really remember the cover, but I remember like FIFA 21 and FIFA 22, or could have been FIFA 22 and FIFA 23. Basically, it was Mbappe, and it just looked the same, and there were even mistakes of people like rebuying the previous FIFA, thinking it was the new one, and so I do like that they have changed the overall cover, and obviously the normal edition, I think, is just Jude, doing his whole Jude celebration, which is cool. It's cool. I respect the difference, all the trophies, all the legends, fan-damn-tastic. Yes, this is something that I'm very, very excited about. So basically, the AI behavior will change depending on the game. So basically what this little snippet says is you can play a game 10 times and the gameplay itself will be played out in 10 different ways. Now, obviously, Manchester United versus Liverpool, for example, that game will never be played out the same way. There might be a red card early or late on in a game. There might be a few tackles that fly in. But teams tend to shift and change the way that they play depending on the context of the game. So if Manchester United are looking to sit quite deep and sit in a low block and try and defend against Liverpool, Liverpool will obviously look to throw men forward, change their formation and their attacking prowess in a way, and try and overwhelm and overload Manchester United and try and unlock their backline defense. And that is exactly what this is going to do. I'm very happy that FC25 and the people that are developing the game and working on it, they've realized this, because after a while playing career mode and playing against just the regular AI, whether you're playing on legendary, ultimate, semi-pro, whatever, after a while you kind of know what you can and can't do. And even if you have like the newer features on where like the AI's extra boosted depending on like the player and stuff, it's still, you kind of know what you can and can't do. So I do like that they have like a developing AI system and scheme running in the background with this game. So it will make the career modes a lot more interesting, have a bit more depth to it, and I like that. I like that a lot. This is a massive new feature. Obviously, if this is true, I am all for it. You can now start playing with your youth academy, so you don't have to necessarily sign these young players, these 15, 16-year-old players, mainly 16, but 16-year-old players and up, to your first team, and then you have to loan them out. You can play them in the youth academy, and then you give them an actual pro deal, and then you can progress them to the first team. And if need be, if they need professional men's football, you can then go and decide to loan them out to another club for a season or two. So I do like that. And I'm pretty sure it says here, your youth academy will be playable in career mode. So I might be slightly more confused about this, but does that mean that you can just be the youth academy coach, or will you be just Manchester United's coach that can use the youth academy and assess how things go? So yeah, it's pretty much up in the air. I'm not too sure about that, but it's a great feature, and it's something that I know, FIFA fans, EAFC 24 fans have been asking for goddamn years. I think back in FIFA 17, people had suggested the thoughts of maybe we can actually have a slightly more detailed youth academy instead of just having one little pop-up thing saying, okay, this is the youth academy, and you have 5 prospects in there. PES, back in the day, PES 12, PES 13, PES 14, you actually had when you started a career mode or whatever it was called in PES, you actually got given a base, youth academy. Now I'm not saying in Manchester United's case, I want to start off and have Harry Amass in the youth academy. I don't want to have Williams. I don't want to have Wheatley in the academy. Now that's pretty hard because that's also extra players that FC would then have to go and make sure that they have contracts to sign for in the game. But at least have a youth academy to start off with, and then you can deal with the coaches and then all those little factors, which would be so cool, because the last few years of career mode have been very bland. It's more or less been rinse and repeat and adding 1 or 2 paint coats on the overall thing. This in itself just adds a whole extra dimension to it, and it does allow you to just engross yourself more and further on into your individual career mode, which I think is fantastic. I also like this, the players can customize the weather effects, and I think this will mainly be for next gen consoles or PS5, Xbox S and Xbox X and PCs, but the weather will actually have an effect. I mean, people have been saying for years, oh yeah, it was raining, so my players are sliding everywhere. I mean, maybe that might be a small factor, but I think now that they've actually mentioned it, or it's actually been mentioned as one of the key new details, you'll actually see a lot more difference. If the wind's blowing, you're going to see the ball swerve a lot more. If it's raining and you're diving in for slide tackles, your players might slide an extra half a meter more, or a quarter meter more. So it's things like that that I'm hoping aren't just, well, we're going to mention it and hopefully nobody really cares about it, because I care about it and I want to see things like that happening in the gameplay. And now this is, along with the Youth Academy, this will be fan-damn-tastic. I'm tired of seeing a 15-year-old come out with a goddamn fully grown beard and a mohawk. I want to see a younger player and then slowly develop. Now, I think maybe the slower development and having the players age would be incredibly hard to do, especially for the fact that this is career mode. I don't expect EA to put that much love and attention into it. We've accepted it, we've moved on. But the fact that the players will actually look young now, instead of coming out, like I say, with a full-grown beard or a moustache or something along those lines, you want to have them be a lot shorter, because not often do you find a 16-year-old that's 6'3". If that's the case, then he's going to eventually end up at 6'7" or 6'8". So you want to have a player actually grow, a player actually look like he's aging, and more or less match the player model with the age, the overall. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. There will now be a bench depth of 9. That is what I've been wanting. It's the small things. It's the small things, but 9 players on the bench. 2 strikers, 2 attacking midfielders, 2 central midfielders or DMs, 1 fullback, 1 centre back, and then 1 goalkeeper, or 1 winger, 1 striker. I don't care. I've been saying, increase the goddamn bench depth. I like that they have updated the scouting network and they've revamped a whole bunch of stuff, and there's going to be 160 countries worldwide that you can scout in, which is apparently 90 more than last year, which is fantastic. And I like that you can scout in further detail. So you won't just be saying scout a left winger. You can now say scout a left winger that's going to be an inside forward. Or you can say scout a striker that's got the poacher mentality and badges. You can now start looking for things like that would suit your individual play styles and systems that you might be looking to deploy for your career mode, which is, again, a small detail that just allows the career mode as a whole to vastly improve and, engross yourself in your individual career modes, which again, fantastic. Here's the cool social media thing that I was talking about. Fantastic scenes. And again, it just allows you to be involved a bit more in the world of your career mode. Oh yes, the live starting point. Bro, the way I have been waiting, I mean, honestly, we don't actually know if any of this stuff is confirmed. EA haven't confirmed this. This is what FGZ News has more or less said, but I'm pretty sure that he is a reliable source in this situation. But the live start points is amazing. It's amazing. Ever since I found out that NBA 2K had that, I've been wanting that in FIFA. I've been wanting that in EA. And I'm really glad that they are now starting to do that, because there have been times where I don't want to start a whole career mode with Erik ten Hag and then start the whole season again. I want to maybe start halfway through the season. Maybe Manchester United are sitting in 8th place. Maybe you want to have a career mode where you go in and you revitalize Manchester United halfway through the season and you get them into Champions League football. Maybe this is a really cool challenge idea, but at the end of the season, the final 5 weeks or 8 weeks of the season, Everton are sitting in 19th place. They got 5 points to go before they can get out of the relegation zone. You can run, especially in that amount of time, the best, revival career mode challenges out there. You can literally try and save Everton. You can try and save a Sheffield United from this past season that's just gone by. You can try and start these things, and then you can go into your transfer window, and then you can shift and shake the squad. It's just perfect. It's just perfect. And it's a great feature that they are now bringing to career mode and to FC. Now, this is what a lot of you have been talking about. Obviously, I took a screenshot and I put it on the community and I said, should we make this video? And here we are making the goddamn video. So I came across this. I know nothing about this, but when I saw what I saw, I was like, FC are starting to cook now. Because what this essentially means is they are redoing and overhauling the tactical system, which is perfect. Now, obviously, moving from FIFA 23 to FC 24, there were a few things in the tactics that they took out. For example, drop between the defenders for your defensive midfielder. Only in certain formations and situations do you actually have that, which is really stupid. I don't know if it's a bug or just that's what they want, but removing that one, tactical trait really did change a lot of the game and how we set up certain teams. But now they're adding a lot. I mean, for the goalkeeper, you have goalkeeper and sweeper keeper. Of course, we have sweeper keeper already, but I'm hoping that this will encourage the actual goalkeepers. Just say, for example, Andre Onana, his natural starting position in the game when Manchester United have the ball up the field in their possession. He's not on his goal line. Naturally, in FC 24 and in FIFA 23 and previous FIFAs, the goalkeeper only just stands on his goal line. Very rarely do you see the goalkeeper actually standing outside of his box. And that will also encourage different elements of the game. That'll make the goalkeeper be available for the extra pass, when building up from the back. It'll make the goalkeeper be available to receive a ball and then draw out the opposition's press and pressure. Just things like that can definitely change how we as the audience and the players might be able to play, FC 25. And of course, they've got the full back role, the false back role. Fantastic. Wing back and then attacking wing back. I would assume wing back and attacking wing back are the same thing, but if it's true, it's true. Who am I to argue? But another key little detail here. Ball playing defender. We have been asking for that for God knows how long. Ever since Pep Guardiola started saying to John Stones, I need you in the midfield, buddy. We've been saying, how do we get these ball playing defenders into the game? How do we recreate those tactics? Some people have said, play the defensive, play the centre back as an attacking midfielder, and then drop him back. And it's a madness, it's a craziness, and it's a whole lot of BS. If we're being very honest here, why must we, as the players trying to recreate these tactics, have to play a centre back as an attacking midfielder just so he can kind of resemble that role? So the fact that there is now going to be the ball playing defender is perfect. It's beautiful. The stopper, and yes, I do know that some of you have already said in the comment section, and even in the comment section here, they're just copying Football Manager. Of course, they're just copying Football Manager. Football Manager, as a whole, is the best football game out there. The depth that you can go to in those tactics for Football Manager is so much better than the depth that you can go into for FC 24. And do you not think that a game that's based solely around tactics You don't think that maybe you should maybe copy them a little bit? I mean, not copy them word for word, but try and incorporate some of the stuff that they're doing. The holding midfielder as well as the central midfield, sorry, the DM and the CM. Box to box, I like that. Holding, deep lying playmaker. So you can, if this is correct, you can deploy a deep lying playmaker in both the central midfielder and the, deeper lying midfielder or the defensive midfielder, which is fantastic playmaker and then half winger. So instead of having Kevin De Bruyne situated as an attacking midfielder and you say drift wide, you can now just say to him, you're going to be a half winger, and that will allow him to operate in that half space, work into that wider right space that we always talk about Kevin De Bruyne getting into and then whipping in crosses. The same goes for Bruno Fernandes. Like, it just seems to me that a lot of these roles and the instructions that go with these roles will help establish the actual formations and the actual player temperament in a way a lot better. But don't get me wrong, I want this in the game, but I also want them to keep the tactics that are already there as options. So I don't always want Bruno Fernandes, for example, or maybe Bruno Fernandes is a bad example, but Bruno Fernandes moving into the half space, playing as a half winger, whipping in crosses, Kevin De Bruyne, the same thing. But if Mason Mount plays instead of Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, from what I've seen so far at Manchester United, he has a slightly more freer role where he can choose to, free roam, drift around the box, pop up in the half space and show for the ball. I still want that free roaming role. I still want the player to be able to drift into the wide spaces. So I still want the drift wide approach, but I'm saying add all of this in, and that is something that I hope they will be able to do. Another thing that I did notice was the left and the right midfielder have different roles and instructions compared to the left and the right wing. Beautiful. Simply beautiful, because currently there's no difference between a left midfielder and a left winger. Now there will be. You can play him as a winger, so you'll be slightly deeper, but you'll be playing as a touchline player that drifts up and down the left or the right space. You can play them as a wide midfielder, which is naturally what this position is associated with, a wide playmaker. I'm getting excited, people. I'm getting super excited. And an inside forward, along with wide playmaker and inside forward, and then, of course, winger. So there's not that much difference, but there is a slight differential between the two. For the cam, you can play him as a playmaker, fantastic, shadow striker, or a half winger. And then as for the striker, you get advanced forward, poacher, false nine, and target forward. That is very interesting to me. Very interesting indeed, because that could also mean you could pair up like a target, like I don't know anything, right? But you could pair up a target forward with a getting behind approach, and that will allow him to, yes, back into the opposition, but also continuously make those aggressive runs into the space in behind the opposition's back line, which I do like. And that is something that Rasmus Højlund, for example, tends to do. He can use his physicality. He is quite physical, but he can also use his pace and run into the channels. So maybe we might be seeing some of that. But yes, just talking about the tactics. I am getting very excited, though. I am getting very excited. And it does come out on the 27th of September, maybe a few days earlier if you order the Ultimate Edition. But that is something that I will definitely be looking into once the game pops out. Okay, and then the final thing that I would like to talk about is a new FC25 feature. So obviously we know that FC and EA don't always have the correct player faces. You might get just a default skin, a default face. And at times that really does ruin the involvement that you have as the player in the game, because you don't want to sign players that have their default faces. But now they've said that, yes, they might not have the correct head scans, but at least they will try to match up the default face more correctly and try and shape them to look a little bit more like the actual player. So it might not be 100%, but they will try their best. Like we have seen in the past a few player faces that have default faces that kind of do match up. And that's all I ask for. Just goddamn try. So just going through one or two of the comments that you guys so kindly left on the community post. Now, this person has said, I should explain some of the changes and stuff. I think I have done that. And yes, we will be seeing a lot more of a different way of playing, especially if you, like I mentioned, before in FIFA 23, we had the DM dropping consistently into the back line, drop between the defenders, and that would help formulate that back three. Now we don't have that, and look how different certain teams set out. So we will be seeing, just with some of those newer instructions and player roles, we will be seeing a lot more of a changed formation for certain teams and how teams might go out and set out in the game. So I am looking very forward to that. Lee Macy 87 has said, hopefully in career mode, realistic transfers for clubs. It won't happen, but it would be better and realistic transfer budgets too. Now, of course, that would be great, but no club really gives their transfer targets to FT to say, hey, why don't you, Now I do understand maybe what they could do is a cool feature that's in not in FC, in NBA 2K is you can decide whether the team's rebuilding, contending, buying players, and maybe that could shift and shape depending on what players are available. So if you are Arsenal, for example, and you're contending for a Premier League title, you're not going to be interested in signing Johnny, the 16-year-old from Manchester United's youth academy. Maybe you might, but that's besides the point. You're going to be looking for players that are going to help you for the next season or two, or maybe even 3 or 4. So maybe there's something that they can work out with that, where there is a more of a focus towards the types of players that they sign, like a Joshua Kimmich, who has been linked with Arsenal in real life. He would not go to Arsenal in FC24. He would go to a PSG because PSG have lots of money, but so do Arsenal. So maybe there's a way that you could work out a formula and a structure that would allow certain teams, when they're contending, when they're looking to kind of rebuild their sides, like Manchester United are currently doing, going for much younger players, looking to build with those players, and then take the next step. Maybe that's something that they could do, and that could be a great suggestion for a future, career mode idealist. I don't know. This person has brought up a very worrying thing here. How will the ability to share your tactics via codes affect your channel? That's right, people. BSG Gaming is done. It's dusted. I will be quitting. That's just how it's going to be, unfortunately. I'm going to make one video. It's going to be viewed by 16 people. Those 16 people are going to share it with their 4 million friends, and I'm just never going to get views. I'm not going to be able to pay rent. I'm not going to be able to do anything. No, man, I'm joking. Like, look, I can't stop you guys from not watching my videos or watching it once and never watching it again. I hope that you guys watch my videos and you do share the codes with your friends. And then you say, that cool guy, or whatever, that lame dude over there on YouTube who has no life and just makes FC24 career mode videos and tactics videos, that cool guy made these tactics. And maybe it attracts your friends to the channel. But honestly, I can't really say right now whether my channel's going to flop or not, because obviously the channel is based around tactics videos. But who knows? We'll see. And I do know that FIFA 2K is coming out soon, so we might be branching out and doing tactics videos there. I know that Football Manager's a thing, huh? But point is, though, like on a very real note, I will still make these videos, and if they get 5 views or they get 500 views, I enjoy making them. So as long as I can and put in the work and all that, I'm going to do it. And I always think that it's fine to just randomly copy my tactics, but I also explain ways that you should maybe go ahead and try and use the tactics and stuff. So I think that could still be helpful. So even if we don't do the tactics videos the same way, and I have to shift and change the style of the video, I can do that. That's fine. But yeah, that's to just end off the video. That's exactly what it is. And then this person, FPL Noak, said, they've just copied FM. Ha 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 ha. And a few people have said, yes, they should. And I agree with those people. They definitely should. Like, why would you not? Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. And I will see you tomorrow with a tactics video or 2. Anyways, peace. I'm done. Bye.